I was definitely surprised with the level of professionalism that he brings to the project. He definitely knows what he's talking about, and that was really cool to see because he's like my little brother, and I don't know, it was cool.
I've been helping Jack since I was 6, and as we've grown, we've gotten better at acting.
Our guest today is a local homeschooled teenager who produced, directed, animated, and voice acted in what is, to the best of his knowledge, the first ever feature-length film created using Minecraft animation. And then he and his family threw a premiere celebration at a local theater. Join us as we visit with Jack Buckley, a promising and dedicated young filmmaker. Come on.
It's an action comedy with some adventure. It's also got some elements of fantasy and like a buddy film type thing. So it's got a lot of those elements. It's about this kid named Chris who lost his father 10 years ago to this cynical warlord named Purple Swordsman. He has a friend named Milo that sort of steps in as a father figure for him. They find his father's book. First of all, he wrote all about these relics, but he also wrote how they could defeat Purple Swordsman. So they go after him, and they find out a lot of things along the way, and I think it's an exciting adventure.
It's exciting, and it's really funny.
Thank you.
Their relationship
is
funny.
Yes.
You know, great humor. And what also is really amazing is that you made this film with about up to maybe 40 other people, that some who live in your home and with your sisters helped you with the film, but also a friend Nicholas came on board. He lives, where does Nicholas live?
He's in Kentucky.
Which isn't anywhere near here. And so you all found each other through the internet. Talk about the relationship and how he's been helping, how he helped you with the film.
Yeah, so first and foremost, he was the voice actor, one of the main voice actors. He voiced Purple Swordsman and Milo, so two of the main characters
he was
in the film.
The best guy and the worst guy.
Yeah, right. So he did that, and he also served as sort of a mentor figure because he's 17, so he's farther along in the process of animation mostly. He would help me with just like, hey, maybe you should do this visually, and sometimes he helped me with the story as well.
Yeah, and I think he thought, there's no way you're going to finish this. You
No
know,
one did,
that's great.
I don't think any
it's
of
nice
us
to have goals,
thought
but
he would finish it.
Nobody told him that at the time.
no, but
No,
it's
I
not.
never
Nobody had
said
the
that
guts
to him
to
ever.
tell him.
No,
We would
of
break it
course.
to
But
him,
I
yeah.
thought,
No, of
buddy, are you
course, of
serious?
course.
How in the world are you going to do this?
I was kind of negative. I was like, you know, this is really, really hard. This is going to take years of work to do. Frankly, I didn't think he was going to finish it, and you know, here it is, playing in theaters.
Hello everyone, how y'all doing tonight?
Well, well, well. Looks like you got my message. Time to get you out of the way once and for all.
I originally started making these books called Time Raider. They had these creatures called like skakes, I believe. They were like skeletons and snakes. I had a lot of different creatures in the world, and I made like a bunch of different books surrounding that.
At 7. And then you moved on to creating and selling video games. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I learned how to make video games through this company called Youth Digital, who taught courses to young kids. And in the summer of 2015, I was like, hey, I should make a game and sell it. So over the summer, I spent about 80 hours creating this video game called Ultimate Night, and I sold it at this Christmas bazaar at my homeschool co-op, and I made like $100 off of it, so it was pretty good.
And so Rocky, when he did this, and then this became sort of a tradition, when he'd release a video game, you all would have a release party, a release gathering, a celebration. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that originated with him. He wanted to be able to share it with all of his friends and with his family and the accomplishment that he had. And he was very professional about it. He had a speech prepared. He would come out in front and explain what he did, the whole process of making it. And then he would show the game and people would get to play it and so on. So that was something every time he achieved a goal, released a project, we would have these release parties. And that kind of was the inspiration for what we did with the film as well. He not only wanted to show the film, but he also wanted to be able to give people popcorn and a drink and
have a panel
turn it into an
discussion.
event. Well, part of that was also related to the commercial aspects of Minecraft, because we couldn't outright sell the film, sell watching the movie. So we conceived of it as an event the kind of release parties and things that we started out doing in our living room now took this leap, and now, you know,
But
seeing the stuff on a big
the
screen.
structure's the same.
It's-
There was
yeah.
always, he always talked in the beginning, we would show the thing, there was always a Q&A at the end, and then there was always food. So it was this little version of it that, you know, we made bigger at the theater.
Where did you get the introduction and the basis for the knowledge to where you are today?
So for everything but animation, I was mostly self-taught.
Just take my hand.
Hey, wait, I know that voice.
I don't trust you, Hand, but I'll take you anyways.
When you started Remnants, it was going to be 16 minutes, right?
Right.
And it ended up being a full feature film. So, why?
So basically, on the platform I was talking about earlier, Youth Digital, I released a 16-minute version of the animation, and it was basically the first-ish 16 minutes of the film. It's completely different now, but got really positive feedback, and everyone was like, more Remnants, we need more Remnants. So over the next year or so, I created another 2 episodes. They were both about 15 minutes long. By the time I had done episode 2, it was already going into a feature film. I already knew that it was going to be a feature film, but I was still releasing it to please the people watching on Youth Digital. So,
and that keeps you going.
Right.
Right, the feedback keeps you going.
Right.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to make this film?
3 years.
3 years.
Over 3,000 hours.
That work ethic is really impressive.
It really is. I mean, even from, you know, like you said, 7 years old, he was writing books and completing them. And what we have noticed is not just his work ethic, but his, I guess, standards of quality. And so he discovered by the time he got to the end of the movie, his animation skills for that first episode were not as good. You know, I was saying, well, couldn't you describe it? Well, you can see my skills have grown as you watch the movie. And he's like, no, I don't want that. So he literally went back and reanimated the first episode this past spring, you know, right before he was going to release it.
Yeah, I had to do it in 10 days,
So-
which was crazy.
Yeah.
I bet it was crazy, but
As his
doesn't
mom, the
surprise
cutest part
me.
was his voice, because his voice in episode 1 was, you know,
It was like
12.
this.
It was kind of little.
Hey guys, Jack here, and today we're going to be doing a read-through of Remnants. Check this out. Today we finished the screenplay.
For Milo, I talk in a very similar voice. I kind of have a more higher, like, hey, so my name's Milo. For the Purple Swordsman, when we first started the film, I kind of had a, hello, human. How are you today? Something like that. Then we deepened the pitch.
You're weak, Jacob. An insult to the very existence of life.
Oh, honey, we're finally married.
Yes, honey, I love you so.
Out, just no. Read the signs, for gosh sake.
So I did the line when I was like 8, and so he told me to do like an adult voice, but since I was 8, it was pretty hard. Oh, honey, we're finally married.
You're working in Minecraft. Talk about why Minecraft.
So it was mostly out of necessity. For this film, I really didn't have a budget. For future projects, I'm planning on having a budget. But for this one, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't able to do a budget for this one, and so I just decided to go with Minecraft because it's easy to animate, I guess, or it's easier than a lot of other things. But also, just making the worlds takes a long time.
Right, and so in Minecraft it doesn't take as long. You can use some of the worlds that are already there.
But as I went along, I realized that there had never been a feature film that was made with Minecraft animation.
Yeah.
So then it was really exciting to see that happen.
Give me an example of what you can make his face do.
Totally,
you know?
yeah. Hold on, let me reset the arm here. First of all, what I would do is I would keyframe, which basically means, say I put a keyframe here at the first frame, then I would put a keyframe here, and that's at frame 20. So that's basically about a second, a little under a second. So that if I play this, then it looks like that. The hardest part is just capturing emotion. It has to look accurate in order for it to be in the film. So if I can't make it look accurate, then I just have to keep going.
Well, I love the way you work with mannerisms and expressions and tie it in with the humor.
Ooh, me elegante.
When did you learn Spanish? I didn't know about that.
Listen, there are a lot of things you don't know about.
Okay, this is getting really cliche. Let's hit the sack.
Don't you mean we should hit El Saco?
Nope. No, I do not.
One of the composers is in
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Oh yeah, that's again not very close.
No.
And then your sister wrote one of the theme songs that goes on at the end.
Credit song.
What was that like working with your sister?
It was interesting. It was also at times a little bit, cause I was like, I want this in the song, and she was like, well, it doesn't have to be that. I was like, yes, it does, Mia.
I'd never done any electronic music or EDM or anything like that, so having to do that while at the same time writing for like a character and not writing from myself and having to work with Jack, and I think it turned out really well.
When I'm tired of fighting, when I'm close to giving up, I just need a helping hand to help my feet and pull me up.
Where do you see yourself in the future?
So when I'm like older,
okay,
I want to do executive producing because it's really creative at this day and age. But more close to now, I'm planning on making more films, and not only just like actually released films, but watching movies and just like being more of an expert on what I'm doing.
I am definitely keeping an eye on you. I can't wait to see where you go. Thank you, Jack. Thank you all.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jack did a great job on the movie. I'm proud of him.
He's always been really creative and just writing things and creating things, and I'm excited to see what he does in the future.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
Sir, you're a senior. You're already grown up, but hey, I'll still take that as a compliment.